Here's the reality. Senators, representatives, and other public officials in Texas literally left the state to block a redistricting vote, shutting down everything. But if any private sector worker abandoned their job mid-shift, they'd be fired immediately. Shouldn't the same rule apply to elected officials who walk out on people they serve?
I'm glad you brought this topic up because it's a loaded question. But yes, I think so. They're not doing their job; they get fired. However, this redistricting thing is a bigger topic, right? And I don't want to say that it's cheating because it's hard to say it's cheating when it's being done by both sides. And by the way, it's not something that's new. It was an interesting interview I watched on I forget which channel the other night, and they had Governor Pritzker from Illinois on, and he was talking about, yay, Ray, go California. You're not doing anything wrong because you're just counterbalancing Texas. And then the interviewer, and I think it was NBC, to be honest, and the interviewer was like, well, you would say that because Illinois did this very thing about 10 years ago. And, I looked into it a little bit, and sure enough, and then you looked at the districts of how it divided the votes, where they put them, and it's clearly manipulating districts in order to get the votes that you need. So this is being done by the left and the right. And obviously Texas, this midterm is at this point is so important to both sides that just Texas doing it alone could very well swing the Republicans in the House and and enable them to keep the House of Representatives, and then you've got Governor Newsom in California saying, well, look, if Texas is looking to divide this up differently and gain 5 seats, then we can do the same in California. We can gain 5 here to counterbalance that. So, where does this end? And the question is you would say it's cheating because it's not in the bottom line is it's not in the best interest of the populace, right? It's not in the best interest of you and I to divide up a geographic territory in a weird way. So I'll use Illinois as that example because they were showing it on the screen, and there was some weird shaped areas that were like
S.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
S that ends up as a J.
Yep. So, clearly that was made, in Illinois' case, so the Democrats could get more seats. But, Texas is doing it. So, this is not a target. I'm not picking on either side here. Both sides are essentially trying to do this. I don't think that in the case, your original question to me, though, was, these representatives just fleeing the state. No. First of all, it didn't work. So, they didn't have the votes anyway. So they're just abandoning their job. No, I don't think you should be able to do that.
Same here. And I pretty much agree with everything that you said. Both sides, at least for the last 50 years that I've been following politics, Mike, there's some state, some city, some locale, municipality, county, or whatever, attempting to redistrict, reconfigure something for a vote. There's been many times throughout my life where there's been some state that had to go all the way to the Supreme Court to figure out whether or not their redistricting was legal. So I agree that it's a political game. It's a cheat sheet on winning an election. But I have to separate my feelings from that. And okay, at some point we got to just make a rule. You don't show up, you get fired. You are serving us.
Yeah, we elected you to be there.
Right. And we were talking about something else last week, and I brought this up. I don't want my elected officials to be part of protest.
No.
I want my elected officials to do their job.